tonight, Oracle. We're joined now by FS1 NBA analyst, our old friend Chris Broussard. Good morning, Chris. We got injury issues for the Warriors. Skip's predicting the Raptors. Who do you think takes this one tonight?
He's not predicting the Raptors, so break the tie.
Well, look, obviously, it all hinges on Klay Thompson, right? His availability. And you could be either optimistic or pessimistic from what he said yesterday. Yeah. Some of the things, I can't see myself not playing. Oh, he'll be out there. Then he says, if there's any pain, I'm not going to play because it's going to be a long series. I don't want to risk missing it all. It's hard to imagine there won't be any pain 72 hours after the injury occurred. Right. So, look, I don't know what you're going to get from Klay. Even if he plays, will he be effective? So without Klay, there's no logical reason to think Golden State's gonna win.
Right.
However, I'm with Shannon. I got a hunch. I got a feeling. I don't know if I ate the wrong thing this morning or what, but I just feel like Golden State can pull this thing out. Obviously, for that to happen, Steph needs to be big. And I think he's gonna come out. This could be his first playoff game ever without Klay. So you would think his mentality is gonna be come out and gunsling. If I miss 12 threes, 15 threes, whatever, he's too good of a shooter, I think. He's had those nights, but I think he's going to hit some of them. So I think he comes out with a big attitude to just put it up. And then, look, Draymond Green is a gamer. And I think if Nick Nurse, any coach, would at least try the box and one at times, because it worked at the end of the game, too. So try it. Draymond wasn't attacking the box and one the way he usually attacks the defense when he gets it. So I think tonight, if they try that, or heck, triangle two, whatever they might try, I think he's going to be in attack mode. And Draymond, look, even though he's not a great scorer, remember Game 7 against Cleveland in 2016? When they lost, he had 32. He hit 6 for 8 threes. Like, I think Draymond is a gamer and will step up and play big. Boogie Cousins. I expect Boogie to play well. Like, obviously, he was great in Game 2. I think he could get 20 points or give or take a few. He's played well against bigs, like Jokic in Denver. He played well against him. I think he can play well against Gasol. Iguodala, another gamer. He had no business hitting that three. I know he was wide open, but he's not a great three-point shooter. But when he needs to, it's like Shaq on the free throw line, he always said. When I need to, I make them. So I think Iggy can play big. And then Quinn Cook. Quinn Cook is a legitimate three-point shooter.
He is.
41%.
I thought 42.
42 career.
Yeah.
42 career, 40% this season. So he'll get more minutes, obviously. So, look, maybe I'm just trying to rationalize my pick of Golden State in 6, but I'm going to go with them tonight.
I went with it for the simple fact that I think Klay is going to play, and he'll play well. Because if I thought for 1 second Klay wasn't going to play, I would have picked the Raptors. But I believe he's going to play, and I believe Klay will play well. That box and one worked because they didn't know it. I think now that they've seen it, they know what to do if they were to see it again. So I agree with you, Chris. I think they should sprinkle it in from time to time. It makes it a lot easier when you don't have another shooter on the court.
Right.
Because you can play zone. You will never play zone against this team if they had all 3 of their guys, let alone if they just have 2 of them, because both of those guys can shoot. Well, the guy that's not getting boxed can shoot over the top of it. So you sprinkle it in, and it makes it a lot more. It makes it a lot easier to play that type of defense if there's no Klay on the floor. I agree. I believe Boogie will play well. He played with a lot of confidence now. My biggest concern is not from 2 to 3; it's from 3 to 4, because you only have that day in between. So they play tonight, then they'll play again on Wednesday. But they're not worried about Friday. They're worried about tonight. And the question is, Iggy and these guys, these minutes, Toronto's got to make these guys play in the high 30s. You let these guys get off too easy playing 33, 34 minutes. You got to push them. Tax those bodies, get it late into the ball game. Hell, if we need to, take it to overtime. You want to put minutes on those bodies that are aching, that's being held together with spit and glue. And if they can do that, they have a chance. But I'm going to take the Warriors in this game because I believe but Klay will play, and he'll play well.
And I said Monday I'm taking Toronto, and I stick with Toronto, and I say Golden State will lose this game with or without Klay Thompson. I don't care if he plays 40 minutes or 0 minutes. Toronto will win tonight. Number 2 will have a huge game tonight.
So we got to do on this one then.
We have no due on
Hold on. How you going to take Toronto? You say 2 is going to have a big
What have
game.
I told you from the start? It's against my religion to bet on number 2. I just don't bet on him, but I can pick him without betting on him. He will go 35-13. He will have a big game because he's going to have a lot of help. Kyle Lowry always plays better on the road than at home, and he has been abysmal in games 1 and 2 at home because he feels the pressure of Raptor Nation on his shoulders, and he's crumbled under that pressure so many times before. He needs to get out from under it and get to Oracle, and he will hit 4 threes tonight and play Bulldog defense. And the reason number 2 is going to rise and shine is if Clay tries to go, and I'm going to assume he'll try to go, but he is still wounded. And you know and I know, if you're wounded, you can play a little bit of offense, but you can't play much defense. He became a primary defender on number 2 in game 2. And it worked. It was pretty effective. The other primary defender, Andre Iguodala, is hurt beyond Clay or beyond number 2. He's got 3 things wrong that I know of because he badly turned his ankle before he ran into Gasol, the man mountain, the other night, and nearly knocked his head off. But he turned his ankle. He's got a calf. He's got an Achilles. He's got all sorts of injury things going on, and it restricts how he can defend number 2 because number 2 is a handful, supremely gifted and strong. Like naturally strong.
Oh, like you talk about the time that he knocked down Draymond and Bogut?
Yeah,
That's strong?
with his elbow.
He's strong.
Country strong?
Yeah, he got him down.
I don't even think he's country strong. He's just strong. I think he's weight room strong.
And then he got an and 1 against Clay and Draymond, too. You remember that one, Skip?
Yeah, I do. I remember every play that he didn't make down the stretch, which is why he owes his team tonight because he should have won that game the other night. I'm going to say this one more time, back to your boxing 1 point. It really worked. And again, I told Shannon earlier, I'm going to tell you, Nick Nurse deserves far more credit than he's getting for suggesting to his team as soon as Clay went out, hey, you guys know what a boxing 1 is? And they all said they didn't know what it was because nobody's used it in recent memory in the NBA.
Not in the NBA.
No, not in the NBA. And he said, well, I bounced it off him, and I said, it's just kind of a box, 2 guys low, 2 guys high, and then Van Vliet, you're just going to chase Steph and face guard him the whole way.
Right.
And let's see if that'll work because they don't have the other shooter, right?
Right.
Because he was gone. It looked like he was gone for good because he dragged his leg off the floor. And it worked so much that Steph down the stretch, he played 8 minutes in the 4th quarter. He took no shots. He didn't even get a shot up. He didn't get to the free throw line. He was 0 for 0, 0 for 0, and he had 0 assists.
Yep.
This is Steph Curry, a 2-time MVP, and you do that to him?
Well, look, I've playing through college. I've been in a boxing 1 where I was the guy chasing the offensive player.
Right.
And for a defensive guy, I mean, it's kind of fun because you don't have the other responsibilities.
Right.
All you got to do is run around and face, like he said, face guard him. And so you can hold a guy like that because that's all you have to do.
What else did Nick Nurse say yesterday how effective it was? Why else was it what? It takes all your backdoor cuts away because you got a stationary zone. So Golden State can't run all those slippery, slick little cuts. Draymond cutting off somebody. Clay backdoor. Clay was
passes,
right. And you can't do it anymore because they're all stationary. They're not going anywhere.
But the thing is that somebody that has the ball, they're going to have to drive and try to penetrate the defense to get them to come, and then you can kick the ball. But it worked because Steph's not there. Who are your spot-up shooters?
That's Clay.
Who's going to do that? Andre is not a spot
on Quinn Cook. Like I said, he's going to have to be big.
Okay. So the best defensive team I've seen in the playoffs is Toronto. And Toronto has to feel real good about itself because remember, game 2, it cut the lead all the way to 2 points. They're only down 2 with 26 seconds left. Now, back to the Golden State you're both picking. Last 5 playoff games they've played, they have trailed against Portland by 17, by 18, by 17. At Toronto, by 12 they trailed. Those are bad signs, man. You're running on empty. You're on fumes, psychological fumes, mental, physical fumes.
But
5th straight finals.
You said 5 games they've been down by double digits. What have they done?
They flurried back to win 4 of them with big bursts.
And I think they could do that. Again, I've said it. I think they coasted against Portland knowing a surge here or there, we can get it. They can't do that, I don't think, consistently against Toronto, especially if Clay's not healthy.
Right.
Then if they get down 12 tonight in the 2nd quarter, it might be over.
Okay.
If Clay's not there.
Because you remember, Skip, it was Clay's hot shooting.
Right.
He had 11 points
Saved
in the
him.
first quarter.
Just
he had
saved
the
him.
first 9.
Saved him from embarrassment. From getting blown off the map.
Yes.
Right?
So now he's not there.
And I'm going to remind both of you, at Oracle with Kevin Durant.